As she approached the Strange Days Motel, a special kind of excitement tingled. When was the last time she'd stayed anywhere but a Hotel Moreau? Maybe never. Only a few vehicles were parked in the Strange Days lot. A couple run-down pickup trucks and one sedan that looked like it recently wobbled out of a junkyard. One sore thumb of a lime green station wagon with a full-length peace symbol plastered across the back window and tie-dye ribbons with beads strung around the antenna. Aside from cracks in the cement, the parking lot was quaint and clean of litter and broken bottles, unlike many of the other businesses in the surrounding area. The motel was smallish, maybe 50 rooms. The building was quaint, a Swedish cottage kind of look. On the inside of the front glass door was a large oval decal depicting Shaggy and Scooby-Doo lounging on a couch with an overly exaggerated red eyes and big silly grins. Caption read, "Would you do it for a Scooby snack?" She couldn't help but smile as the many strings of multicolored lights draping the walls, chairs, and check-in counter all winked at her. A fountain was centered in the lobby. It was in the shape of a marijuana leaf, with water spraying softly from the tips of the leaves. A sign on the wall read, "Sorry, we're stoned." The smell of Mary Jane danced with shamanic calmness, a subtle breeze of air conditioning. Antiquish wall lights lined the halls that led towards the rooms. But these weren't normal lights. They were black lights. Sage approached the significantly recessed check-in counter, as if stepping into the mouth of a cave. A lopsided yellow sign on a green-trimmed red door read, "Strange Days Employees." To the left of that door was a felt portrait of Jim Morrison with an acid green-yellow overlay. On the right side of the same door was a hand-printed mural of the psychedelic sounds of the 13 elevators. A somewhat young but plump woman emerged from the side entrance to the cavernous front desk. That same acid green-yellow showed up once more on the bandana around her short-cropped hair. Long gypsy-like earrings dangled from her lobes. Was she in a hotel or an opium den?
You're Sage Moreau, correct?
The clerk handed Sage a key. How did you know that?
Zeke called and said you might be stopping by. He said I'd know you when I saw you, and he was right. You have that Moreau look about you.
I'm not sure if I should be offended or not.
Oh, not at all. You're just a little more sophisticated than most of our other guests.
Right. Well, Sage lifted the key. Guess I got what I need. Thank you.
Room 420.
No doubt. No doubt. Like an airport runway, green rope lights stretched along the tops of the walls, leading toward her room, room 420. This motel was most unexpected, humble, yet distinguished. Between the dim lighting and the sweet scent of cannabis hovering like a romantic fog, Sage found herself, once again, swooning. The room was decorated in shades of dark red and burnt orange. Simply furnished with a full-sized bed, a smallish desk, and a chair and a tiny closet. No television. However, it did have a very large whirlpool tub, big enough for 4 at least. Sage set her purse and suitcase against the wall. on the vanity were several clear plastic boxes, each about the size of a deck of cards. Beside the boxes was a pipe and a box of matches. She opened the first box. A plume of sweet and slightly bitter fragrance billowed and tingled about her senses. She opened another. This one was more sweet, and not really bitter at all. The last box smelled more woodsy, rather than sweet or bitter. Surely not all the guests were gifted with illegal substances, which could only mean that the flowers and paraphernalia were a gift from Zeke. In the threshold stood Zeke Chase. He held a tray of crisp seaweed wraps. Under his arm was a bottle of Tenuta Hills wine. Between two fingers, he held two upside-down wine glasses by the stem.
May I come in?
Sage nodded. He set two glasses on a small round table set in the corner of the room. Slipped a corkscrew from the front pocket of his black slacks. Why was Zeke here? Was this business or pleasure? Did she even care?
What I'm about to tell you doesn't leave this room.
Of course. Sage sat on the other chair. She set her wine glass on the table.
2 years ago, I began R&D on a new endeavor.
Something to do with the military contract you were awarded?
What do you know about 3D printing?
Based on a vat photopolymerization technique called stereolithography, invented about a decade ago by Charles Hull, initially used for industrial parts, but more recently has been used for medical purposes, dental implants, prosthetics.
Do you have any idea of the potential for this new technology? The impact on humanity?
Seeing that it's being researched as a means to create artificial organs, well, of course. This new R&D project has to do with 3D printing?
And artificial organs.
Wow. Wow. When you said you'd have more challenging stuff, you weren't kidding. What does 3D printing and artificial organs have to do with dashboards for industrial equipment?
Nothing, really, except as a means to finance my research.
And how are you progressing?
Long build times and low precision are two biggest obstacles right now. But we're optimistic.
And that's where I fit in.
Indeed. A toast to living long enough to see an incredible future.
To living.
To living.
Forever.
Forever. To forever.
Forever.
Forever. The Zeke and Sage story. Brought to you by Fiction for Adults.
FictionForAdults.com